everybody! Welcome to Storytime. I'm Michelle from Stories by Shelley. If you love my stories, give me a thumbs up. Let me know what you think. Who likes chameleons? Thumbs up, yes I do! I love chameleons. They are the funniest and the coolest creatures out there, don't you think? Have you ever seen a chameleon? You have? Wow! How big was he? Did he sit on the end of your finger, just this much? Or was he huge and long? What interesting things do you know about chameleons? Oh, yes, they've got eyes that look all the way around. Do you know they've got a long tongue that goes that catches things? And what about that they change color? That's super cool, isn't it? Well, our story today is called Chameleons Are Cool. And it's written by Martin Jenkins and beautifully illustrated by Sue Shields. So should we have a look and see what it's about? You ready? Chameleons are cool. Some lizards eat bananas. Chameleons don't. Some lizards walk upside down on the ceiling. Chameleons can't. Here is an iguana, a flying lizard, and a gecko. Ooh, have you seen a gecko before? Those are quite common. You can see them sometimes in your house. There's even a lizard that glides from tree to tree. A chameleon certainly wouldn't do that. But of all the different kinds of lizard, I still think chameleons are the best. Chameleons are cool. As cool as ice cream? Maybe. It's not that they're all that big. The biggest is only about the size of a rather small cat. It's called an Austerlitz chameleon, and it lives in Madagascar. They can be really, really small though. The smallest is one that could balance happily on your little finger. Look at that. Just this big. Look how small it is. It's called the dwarf Brookshire, and it lives in Madagascar too. I'm sure you've all watched the movie Madagascar, haven't you, Storytime friends? With our lion and the zebra and the giraffe. Do you remember any of the characters' names? Yes, that's right. Madagascar is a really fun country. Beautiful, beautiful things there. Beautiful animals. And I suppose you wouldn't exactly call many of them beautiful. Their skin is a bit wrinkly and bumpy, and they've got big, bulgy eyes, while lots of them have the most ridiculous noses. Noses. Can you point to your nose? Give it a beep. Beep, beep. I think it's their noses I like best. Do you have a favorite chameleon nose? Look at all of them there. Which one do you like? I think I might like this one with the horns. Those look kind of cool. What about this one that's super long? Their mouths are pretty odd too. They turn down at the corners, which is why chameleons always look grumpy. Actually, they don't just look grumpy. They are grumpy. So if two chameleons bump into each other, hello, things can get pretty lively. There's a lot of puffing and hissing and sometimes a real fight. Okay? They will fight with each other. Hey, what you doing on my leaf? Why are you trying to eat my flies? Don't come here. No. And that's when chameleons do what they're most famous for. They change color. Oh, wow. So if they're angry, they can change color. Lots of people think chameleons change color to match their surroundings. That's what I thought. Did you think that too, Storytime friends? Well, they don't. They change color when they're angry. When they're too cold. When they're hot. Or when they're sick. And there are some sorts of chameleon that hardly change color at all. Oh, isn't this purple one really cool? As a rule, though, chameleons don't bump into each other all that often. I suppose it wouldn't be fair to call them lazy, but they certainly don't move any more than they have to. And when they do, it's almost always incredibly slow. They almost move like this. They hold the branch and they rock, 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 and put a foot. And then rock, 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 and put a foot. They go very slowly. Sometimes they stop completely in mid-step. Just like that. And they've quite forgotten what they're supposed to be doing. But if you look closely, you will see that they're actually carefully peering about. Okay? They're using their eyes to look, see what is all around them. Now, peering about is something chameleons are rather good at. That's because their eyes move separately from each other. Unlike our eyes, they always move together. So if you're looking straight ahead, both your eyes look forward. If you look to the left, your eyes look to the left. If you look to the right, then your eyes look together to the right. But the chameleon can look up at the sky and down at the ground at the same time. Or this way or that way. They can look at all different ways. So while one eye is looking back over the chameleon's shoulder, the other is scanning the branches ahead. As soon as it spots something tasty, the chameleon fixes both eyes on the prey and begins to creep forward, even more slowly than usual. Then it opens its mouth. Just a crack. Oh, just a crack. And what happens? Out shoots this amazingly long tongue with a sticky bit at the end, like a piece of well-chewed chewing gum. Hey, they can catch their prey. The tongue flies back, and there is a lot of chomping and chewing. Mwah, 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 mwah. And perhaps a few bits of insect leg go fluttering to the floor. And after that, the chameleon just sits there for an hour or two, doing nothing very much at all, looking quite exhausted and still pretty grumpy after all that hard work. And there you have it. How could you possibly resist a pocket-sized, bad-temper, colour-changing, swivel-eyed, snail-paced, long-tongued, sharp shooter? If chameleons aren't cool, then I don't know what is. What do you think? Here's a little bit more facts about chameleons. Chameleons are lizards, and lizards are reptiles, like snakes, crocodiles, and tortoises. There are about 4,000 kinds of lizards altogether, including around 120 different chameleons. Oh, isn't that amazing? Just over half of all kinds of chameleon come from Madagascar. So we need to look after that continent very carefully. Or that country, hey? A big island off the east coast of Africa. Most of the others live in mainland Africa. So we need to look after Madagascar and all these beautiful animals. Most of the chameleon's eyes are covered with skin. There is a tiny peephole in the middle that the chameleon uses to see through. A chameleon's feet are shaped like pincers for holding on tightly to the branches. There you go. Can you make your hands like a pincer shape and pretend you're a chameleon? Hey, hold your hands, and now you're going to walk very carefully like a chameleon. A chameleon will only fight with the same kind of chameleon as itself. Okay, so they only fight with ones that look just like them. Most chameleons gulp their food down without chewing it, but chameleons grind everything up thoroughly. Most lizards gulp their food down without chewing it, but chameleons grind everything up thoroughly, so they make it nice and small. Chameleons feed on all sorts of creepy crawlies. The big ones also can eat small birds, mice, and even other chameleons. Oh, I didn't know that. Iguanas don't just eat bananas. They love all sorts of fruit. Chameleons don't make good pets, and they usually get sick and die, hey? Because chameleons need a very careful environment, so you can't really keep them as a pet. The flying lizard glides on wing-like flaps of skin. And geckos' toes are so sticky, they almost like Velcro. That's how they can walk on the roof. Isn't that amazing? And there is our beautiful chameleon. So what did you think, Storytime friends? Do you think chameleons are cool? Did you like learning about chameleons? If you did, give me a thumbs up. Give me 2 thumbs up. Let me know what you think. We'll see you again soon on another Storytime adventure. Happy reading. Bye-bye, everybody.